Hello everyone. In this lesson, we are focusing on the present perfect tense. I'm going to start with the structure of this tense. In positive sentences, we start the sentence with subject, then we use have or has, and after that we use the past participle form of the verb 3. Look at the examples, please. I have finished my lunch, I'm going back to work. Here the subject is I, then I used have because with IUV they, we need to use have. And then I used verb 3, finished. He has learned English. Here the subject is he. With he, she, it, we use has with verb 3 again. In negative sentences, we start the sentence with subject, then we use the negative form of have or has with verb 3 again. John and Mary haven't gone out together this week. Here, the subject is John and Mary, they. So I use haven't and the past participle form of the verb go. Go, gone. It hasn't rained this summer. And the question form, you need to start the question with have or has, then you need to use subject with verb 3. Has she cleaned the room? Yes, she has. No, she hasn't. Have you solved 10 questions so far? Yes, I have. No, I haven't. We use the present perfect tense for an action or situation that started in the past and continues in the present. For example, Jack and Mary have been married for 10 years. This means this marriage started 10 years ago and still continues. She has lived in Istanbul all her life. You cannot use this tense with specific time expressions like yesterday, 2 months ago. We can use present perfect tense with unspecific time expressions such as for, since, ever, never. We are going to talk about these time expressions in a few minutes. Let's continue. We use the present perfect tense when we are talking about our experiences. This tense is frequently used to talk about experiences or changes that have taken place. We often use the adverb ever in questions and it means any time in your life. We use never for the negative form. For instance, I have played football since I was a child. This sentence means that I had the experience of playing football, okay? My brother has never been to New York before, and this sentence means that my brother hasn't had the experience of going to New York. Have you ever traveled by train? As I told you before, we often use the adverb ever in questions. We use the present perfect tense when the time period referred to hasn't finished. I have worked very hard this week. That means the week isn't over yet. Let's say it is Friday. It has rained a lot this year. The period of time is still continuing. We haven't seen him today. For repeated actions, my husband has been to Barcelona 4 times this year. It says 4 times this year, so we are talking about a repeated action here. We have eaten at that restaurant many times. For the actions completed in the very recent past, in other words, we use the present perfect tense to talk about something that happened in the recent past, but that is still important. Look at the examples, please. I have just eaten. We have just seen her. I've lost my keys, so I can't get into my house. So these actions were completed in the recent past, but that is still important. Using already, just, and yet with the present perfect. Already means something has happened sooner than we expected. It usually goes before the past participle. Don't buy any potatoes. I have already bought some. Please look, I used already after have and before the past participle form. They have already left. Just means a short time ago. Just goes before the past participle, like already. I have just seen your brother. I use just after have before seen, verb 3 form. Ali has just finished the project. So this action was completed a short time ago. Yet is only used in questions and negative sentences. It means something is expected to happen. It usually goes at the end of a sentence or clause. Let's look at the examples together. Have you finished the report yet? You see a question form here, and I used yet here at the end of the sentence. No, I haven't finished it yet, and you can see the negative sentence here with yet. Since and for. We use since with a fixed time in the past. 2005, April 23rd, last week. The fixed time can be another action which is in the past simple. Since he was at school, you can see the past form was here, since I arrived. I've known Melis since 1990. Here, the year 1990 is a fixed time in the past, so I use since. I've liked chocolate cake since I was a child, and you can see the past form of be here, and I use since with this phrase. She's been here since 3 p.m. We use for with a period of time, like 2 hours, 3 years, 6 months. For instance, I've known Tuba for 8 years. Here I'm talking about a period of time, so I used for. I've been hungry for hours. She's had a cold for 2 days. And the question word how long is used to ask questions about amounts or periods of time. Here's an example. How long have you lived in Adana? I have lived in Adana for 12 years. Now we are going to continue with some exercises. Let's start with the first exercise. It says complete the table with the irregular past participles. I will also remind you the past simple forms with the past participle forms. Let's start. B, remember the past simple form was or were, and the past participle form is be. Buy, bought, both. So the past simple form and past participle form, they are the same. Cut, cut, cut. Drink, drank, drunk. Eat, ate, eaten. Give, gave, given. Have, had, had. Meet, met, met. Make, made, made. See, saw, seen. Keep, kept, kept. Think, thought, thought. Teach, taught, taught. And last one here, write, wrote, written. Write sentences using the present perfect. Let's start with the first one. My friends go London. Now we will write a sentence using the present perfect tense. My friends have gone to London. Now I want you to remember the structure. Here the subject is my friends, they. So I used have with verb 3. Go, went, gone. Number 2, he win the tennis match, and the correct sentence is he has won the tennis match. Here the sentence starts with he, so I use has with the past participle form of win. Ahmet wear a black suit. Ahmet has worn a black suit. Now we will write a question form here. It's a yes/no question. Have you bought any clothes this week? Remember, if you want to make a question using the present perfect tense, you need to start the question with have or has. Here, the subject is you, so I started the question with have. And I use verb 3 here, buy, bought. And a negative form, I haven't sent an email today. Let's continue with another exercise about for and since. Fill in the blanks with for or since. Here are the questions. Let's start. I've had my car for more than years. Now, remember the rule. We use for if we are talking about a period of time. So here the correct answer is for. We cannot use since here. Second one, she has spoken English since she was 3 years old. So here we are talking about a fixed time. 3, my cousin has been in hospital since yesterday. 4, I have waited for you for a few minutes. Again, we are talking about a period of time here. Now, look at question 5. It says 2005. Please think about it. My family has lived in this apartment since 2005. 6, they have been in this country for 2 weeks. It hasn't rained for 5 months. And last one here, we haven't been to the seaside since last June. Here is another exercise. It says complete the sentences using the correct form of the present perfect and just. Remember, we use the present perfect tense for the actions completed in the very recent past, and here we will use just for that. What is the problem? I have just lost my purse. I use just after have and before the past participle form. Are you hungry? No, I have just eaten. So this action was completed in the very recent past. Is your brother doing his homework? No, he has just finished it. Is your sister at home? No, she has just gone shopping. Look at the list and write sentences about George. Use already and yet. Now, if you see a tick, that means we will write a sentence using already because this action was completed, okay? And if you see a cross, we will use yet with negative form. Okay, let's start. He has already studied French. I use already before the past participle, after has. Second one, he hasn't called his grandma yet. Remember the rule. We use yet in negative sentences and in questions. He has already done his homework. He hasn't cooked dinner yet. He has already washed his hair. Complete the sentences. Use the present perfect, positive or negative. Okay, we can start now. It says, my mom isn't at home now. She has gone to the supermarket. With she, we use has, and gone is the past participle form of go. So far this month, I have seen 3 films. I'm hungry. Now in this sentence, you see yet here. That means we will make a negative sentence. And here's the answer. I haven't had my breakfast yet. Or, I haven't seen Helen yet today. Here you can see yet. That's why we made a negative sentence. I don't know your friend. I haven't met him yet. Complete the sentences using the present perfect tense. First one, the train has stopped. Stop is a regular verb, so the past participle form of the verb is stop. We just add ed. We can go out now. 2, she isn't ready. She hasn't packed her cases yet. Pack is also an regular verb. She has taken some photos. Take, took, taken. Sally hasn't arrived yet. Now we made a negative sentence. Where can she be? And arrive is another regular verb. I've never spoken to your father. Speak, spoke, spoken. Now we will write questions and answers in present perfect using the words given. Okay, we will see one question, one answer here. Okay, let's start with the first one. We will make a question by using how long. How long have you been in the USA? We use this question word how long in the present perfect tense very often. And the answer is, now you need to remember the rules for and since. And it says 3 years. We are talking about a period of time. So the correct answer is, I have been there for 3 years. Question 3. How long has he lived in Berlin? He has lived there since 2002. Now we are talking about a fixed time, so I use since in this answer. Question 5. How long has he worn that coat? He has worn it since last winter. Okay, that's all for today. Thanks for listening.